Most men treat intimacy like it's a light switch, cold all day, then they flip it on at night and wonder why she says no. And she says no because real intimacy is a daily maintenance task. It's something you need to do all the time. It's something you need to do when you see her, when you don't see her, when you're texting her, when you're emailing her, when you're looking at her. It's not just a once in a day performance at the end of the day. Now, if you keep watching this video, you'll walk away knowing exactly the day-to-day system, what you need to do in all three areas of the intimacy frame. That's going to move your relationship from a dead bedroom to levels 4 and 5 of intimacy. I'll describe that in further detail later. But you want to get to the point to where like she's initiating intimacy. You want to get to the point to where she never says no, but she's always a willing participant. She wants to go along with it when you want it, right? Because she wants it too. She might even want it more than you do. Now, not all women will get to that point, but if you can at least get them up to level 4 to where they want it when you want it and they're happy to spend that time with you because you've done all these things throughout the day, that's a huge win. And you're ahead of probably 90% of relationships, a lot of who don't ever have those intimate moments. One of the three core frames that help you rebuild polarity and desire in your relationship, it's the intimacy frame. And it isn't just sex. It is the constant low-level current that keeps her emotionally and physically open. She's open 24 hours a day. Whenever she's with you, she's open. She's physically open. She's emotionally open. She's present. She wants to be with you. Now, I have a 5 point intimacy scale, and this is just a way to break it down to make it a little bit more tangible so you can measure and see where you're at in your intimacy. Now, level 5, that's the highest level, and this is the goal. This is where we want all men to be. This is where she initiates it, right? Sometimes it's as subtle as reaching over and grabbing you. Sometimes it's as literal as her climbing on you. It really depends on how aggressive she is and what kind of personality that she has. The goal is really to be around a level 4 because not a lot of women, especially if they're submissive in so many other areas, they're not going to be all that forthright about it. But level 4, they're playful and they rarely say no. And by rarely, I mean practically never. That is kind of the goal of where you want to be at. You want to be at that level 4. You want to be at the point where, you see her, she's looking good, you go up to her and then she just automatically, she goes for it because she wants to. And this is because you've been working at it. But to do this, to get to this level, you need to understand that there's three parts of intimacy. The first part, this is the day to day, it's the physical language and it's the language that you use. It's the physical, it's the touching, it's the playing, it's this that's what this video is going to be about. This is the foundation that most men skip, or maybe they have it early in the relationship, but then they kind of stop doing it because, maybe kids come around or she doesn't like the way he teases her, whatever it is. Then you have the second part of the intimacy game, which is the word and text game. This is when you guys are apart. I call this asynchronous communication. So when you guys are apart and you're having to communicate via text, keeping things fun to fun. Now these two parts of the intimacy frame, a lot of guys really miss. And they miss this because they think intimacy is just about the bedroom. They don't know any better, right? I was never taught until I learned this stuff. These first two parts of the intimacy frame, guys completely screw it up because they stop having fun. They stop being the man that she fell in love with. They stop learning how to be themselves. I'm sure you can relate to this. Your relationship is maybe really good, and then over the years it gets less and less. You're less playful. Now the third part is the D game. Now, I don't dive deep into strategies. We talk about ways to make her absolutely obsessed with you, but this is all live and in person and under an NDA because we don't want these things kind of just floating out there. Otherwise, everyone is doing them. But the key here is to treat her like she's your playful princess. Not your roommate and not your mom for sure. There's a lot of boys out there who want to be treated like they are her mom. Don't do that. She hates that. So you have to work on your language upgrade. You have to swap some of the simplest things you can do. Swap beautiful and cute for yummy, naughty, delicious. And then physical touch, you can't have any expectation with it, right? You can tickle her, you can do light smacks on her butt or her shoulder, right? You can give her a wet willy, you can tug her hair, you can do the credit card swipes. You can do hip pulls, you can do accidental grazes. There's all sorts of things that you can do to keep that physical connection between you two all day, right? So then when the nighttime or the morning time comes around, she's primed and ready. So the frequency of these things, as far as like touching each other and being each other, 20 every 20 to 60 minutes, just make it a regular habit, right? Just make it like once an hour, make it a point to touch her. And even if it's the smallest thing, it shouldn't lead to anything. Now, I'm going to tell you how daily nonstop sexual touch has kind of helped with my own relationship. Now, I've been in relationships where it's like you're going. I had a relationship before where it was like after a couple months, you stop being playful, you stop slapping her butt, you stop doing all these different things because maybe she's like, ow, that hurts, or I don't like it when you do that, or something like that. Like, as a guy, you just got to not care. So, in my current relationship, I just keep being playful. Like, she's like, ah, right? She's like, oh, stop, or she's like, oh, don't, but she's like smiling about it. And she might say things like, and if she legitimately says no, then stop, obviously. But, like pull her hair, like give her a wet willy, whatever it is, just like little things that would be like more playful, right? I've many guys that I work with, this is one of the first things they work on, and they've gone from dead bedrooms where they weren't getting any, they hadn't had sex in months, and then suddenly they're having it once a week or maybe even more often because she's not tired anymore. She's not tired, she's tired of them, and she's no longer tired of them. And they can make these changes in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. A real man just doesn't sit around and wait for her to feel like it, right? Because if you wait for her to feel like it, she's going to be tired. She's going to have a lot of dishes. She's going to have a hard day at work. She's going to talk to her mom one night. She's going to go out with her friends. She's going to get stuck doing yard or whatever it may be. You have to, as a man, you have to create the conditions on a daily basis so she rarely has a reason to shut down. So she doesn't want to shut down. And you become the man that she wouldn't dare say no to. And that's not like a threat. This isn't anything physical or abusive. This is something that's like she wants it. And she's like, wow, if I don't get it, then he might go somewhere else. But when you have no frame and you stop that playful behavior, your bedroom's just going to die. But when you have strong frame and consistent daily intimacy, not physical, not sex, not bedroom time, you keep her warm all the time versus trying to go from cold to hot. You are going to make immense changes in your bedroom skills, and you guys are going to be so much more productive as a result. So you just got to focus on all three parts of intimacy. Now, quick pitch, if you got a minute, this is part one of the intimacy frame. This first part where we talk about the day-to-day activities, and it's so important for you to keep those day-to-day activities in the relationship. That's keeps that physical connection. You can call it woo-woo or whatever you want, but keeps that physical energy moving between the both of you. Now, inside the full frame control protocol, we talk about all three parts of the intimacy frame. We talk about the day to day, how to communicate with her to keep her mind on it all the time, and then how to just like lay it down in the bedroom. Plus, I have some dark frames if you're interested in that kind of thing as well. Now, if you're ready to stop hoping and you're ready to start leading, the next step is in the description. You can check out my links and we can talk and see if it's a good fit and we can work together and get your intimacy back on point.